I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Bold and the Beautiful edition. Today is Monday, September the 19th, 2022. On a scale of 1 to 10, y'all know how we do. I'm going to give this one, I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6. All right, let's get right into it. We see Finn and Steffi, and she is making plans, and he's like, what are your plans? And she's like, I have an amazing husband that's just gonna say yes and everything. And so he's like, well, tell me what the plan is that I'm saying yes to. I'm sorry, I thought I had to sneeze for a minute. And so I don't quite know if Finn, because Finn knows exactly what she's trying to do. He knows it has something to do with Taylor and how she wants her and Taylor and her dad to be together. But anyways, at this point, Taylor comes in and she's like, oh my gosh, are you trying to recruit Finn? Because, Steffi was going on about how her parents should be together to Finn. And she said, are you trying to recruit Finn? And he says, whatever Steffi says, it's a yes. It's yes to it. She knows, and whatever my wife wants. And Taylor was like, smart man. But she's also like, Steffi, what are you trying to do? And she says, nothing. And she's like, no, Steffi, I know you. So tell me what you're up to. And she says, I'll tell you later, Mom, and everything. And so, Taylor gets a phone call at that point, and she says, see, you got to work. So we'll come back to this later. And Taylor was like, you're going to tell me what your plan is, like what you're up to, young lady. And she said, oh, look, she's talking to me in her mom's voice. I'm going to be in trouble. Let's move on. So then we go back to Finn and Steffi, and she is making some type of plan. Now, their spoiler is that they're supposed to go to Aspen, but it's not going to work out the way Steffi wanted it to because Brooke is going to show up. But I don't know, child. Y'all tell me what you think. Because at this point, I'm not going to keep harping on it. So then we see Paris, Zende, Thomas, and Ridge. And Zende has created another design. I said, so this is the storyline we're going to do with Zende and Paris. I'm sorry, like, this is what y'all going to do. Instead of giving them an actual storyline, y'all just going to keep having Paris standing up there wearing a dress. Did I leave my drink? Oh. Standing up there wearing a dress, and Zende created another design that y'all say, oh, it's so perfect, you don't need to create. Like, give them a storyline. Are y'all gonna put them back together or no? Like, oh my God. Move on, Nikki. So anyways, moving right along, we see that they're all standing there, and Ridge says he can't concentrate. And then Thomas says, well, we all know why you can't concentrate. And Ridge said, what? And he said, you could concentrate if you come back home to Mom. And Ridge said, would you stop? Would you please stop? I'm with Brooke. That's my wife, and you're disrespecting her. Stop it. And so Zende says, well, I think Ridge says, we need to just focus on this design. And and Thomas said, there's nothing else to do. This design is perfect. Zende said, well, I want to make a few extra tweaks and whatever. And Paris was like, always the perfectionist. I said, get on out this room because y'all know y'all about to leave. And they say, all right. Zende says, all right, we'll let y'all have this private conversation because it is a private conversation. And so they leave, as usual. And so that leaves Ridge and Thomas to talk. And he tells Thomas again, like, stop disrespecting my wife. I am married to Brooke. And he says, yeah, I know you felt sorry for Brooke and you moved back over there with her at the home and everything. But that was only because you felt sorry for her. It wasn't because you love Mom and you want to be with Mom. And he says, that is I am married to Brooke. That is my wife. I moved back home with her because I'm married to her. And and so then they're just going back and forth over the same thing they've been talking about. Thomas says you need to come home. Ridge says be respectful towards my wife. I said, well, I mean, they can't be respectful towards her if you're not going to be respectful towards her. I mean, it just is what it is. And so then Taylor Steffi calls Thomas and says, hey, are you still at the office? He said, yeah, I'm having a meeting with Dad. And she says, yeah, come over right now. And he was like, all right. So they all get, why I got Taylor back there hiding? I'm sorry, girl. So they all get home or whatever. They all go to the Cliff House and everything. And Steffi's like, they were like, what's going on? Fred said Thomas was driving like a bat out of hell getting over here. It's funny because it reminds me of I'll be putting my car in sport and floating on the freeway, and my mom would be like, what's the speed limit? Baby, sometimes you got to go with that traffic or you're gonna get ran over. But anyways, they say Taylor says, I mean Steffi says she just wants to enjoy family, just being with family and just loving on each other and continue this. And they already know she's trying to set this up. And Taylor is just like, Steffi. And I said, girl, go on and hush. You know you want Steffi to do this because it takes the guilt away from Taylor having to go after him, just go on after him. She could say, I didn't put this together. Steffi did or whatever. But at the end of the day, Ridge, you don't have to be over there. Those are your grown kids. You could have stayed for like 15 minutes and been like, well, I got to get home to my wife. Or let me call Brooke and tell her to come over. Like, there are things he could do. And the fact that he was so upset when he walked in that house and saw Bill, and then you sit here and make Google eyes and smile and stuff at Taylor and Steffi sitting there talking about, the love is in the air. The love is in the room. Can't you feel it? I mean, look at it. You guys love each other. And Thomas, I don't know. Come on, Dad. You know you love Mom. Come on. I know you've been with Brooke, but you love Mom, and it's different with Mom. And Taylor just sitting there like, what? I said, Lord, have mercy. And Finn, well, Finn is just happy to be Finn is just happy to be alive. So he don't have an opinion. Whatever makes Steffi happy, that's Finn's opinion. And Ridge is just sitting there like, guys, respect my wife, while he looks all lovey-dovey in Taylor's eyes. I said, sir, I can't respect her when you don't respect her. I only give the respect you want us to give, and you said no, she don't deserve it. But anyways, let's move on. He make this big speech about Forsters. This is Ridge and all that, and I said, oh God, sorry for using your name in vain, Lord, because he working my nerves. Anyways, we see Brooke and Hope. So Brooke is like, thank you, Andre. I knew I could count on you. I said, what you got planned, girl? And she said, I'm gonna have a romantic night with my husband. And Hope comes in and she says, oh, you got plans or whatever? And she was like, yes. Brooke voice, I love it, but I hate it at the same time. It reminds me of mine. We want to be strong, but our voice makes us weak. Okay, focus. So anyways, Brooke and Hope are talking or whatever, and Hope just tells her, Mama, they coming after your husband and they're starting this war. She said it's been a fragile peace between the Logans and Forsters. Well, Steffi is pretty much saying, we ain't having this peace, not now more time. And so, I mean, I guess it's over. That's all I can say. And whatever. And Brooke just says, oh God, I just hate this or whatever. She says, but Ridge, if Ridge wanted to be with Taylor, he could be with Taylor. I'm not holding him at gunpoint. And she really not. This is Ridge who doesn't want to decide. But I said at the end of the day though, Brooke, excuse me, that man is your husband. And you need to hold him at some kind of point, not gunpoint, but you need to hold him to some kind of, like, when he told you, I don't want Deacon and Bill over here around you, you should have hit him right back with, well, I don't want you around Taylor. And then see what happens. Like, see what happens if you tell him that, but you're afraid to tell him that because you know at the end of the day, he's not going to agree to that. He's not going to agree to that or whatever. He's going to make some kind of excuse about it. We have kids together, even though your kids are grown and have children on their own. That's another thing. This is what they was talking about Hayes. And he wants to be a psychiatrist. He wants to be a doctor. He wants to be a designer. I said, okay, that's cute though. But anyways, So they're talking, and Hope is just concerned, and Brooke says, I'm not worried about it. I mean, she is concerned, and she's realized what Taylor, Steffi, and Thomas and them are doing. Because Hope said, I walked in on them bashing you or whatever. And Brooke said, it ain't the first time they've been doing that. She said, but I didn't make steal Ridge from Taylor. She said, but then maybe I did. I mean, we just had a love for each other. I said, I don't know what you did, girl. But I know one thing. One of y'all need to have some standards. But I said that I'm just not going to repeat myself anymore. I'm just not. Thanks so much for watching. That is what happened on the soaps Bold and the Beautiful edition. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for an all new episode of, yeah, what happened on the soaps Bold and the Beautiful. Goodbye.